2006, my daughter was 8 years old at the time. She asked me if she could join me in the afternoons on my afternoon run. And we'd done this before, and when we'd done it, we'd always sort of done some kind of game to pass the time. And I said to her, okay, why don't we plot out a novel together? And she said, well, all right, let's do that. And I asked her, well, what do you think what kind of plot would you like? And she said, I'd like a story about a girl who saves the world. I grew up on a steady diet of books of just every kind, thrillers and science fiction, a lot of science fiction, westerns, adventure novels, war novels, spy novels, and I loved these books. They were what made me want to be a writer in the first place, was the pleasure of this kind of robust story. And so I made a conscious decision that whatever it was I was going to do next, I wanted to take up that kind of robust storytelling. Obviously, it has some aspects of a horror novel. It is a dystopian novel. It is a post-apocalyptic, speculative fiction. It's a thriller. It has an FBI agent in it. It has an orphan girl who can talk to animals. It has not one but two runaway trains. There's a main cast of characters in the novel. Amy is age 6 at the outset of the story, who is abandoned by her mother at a convent in Memphis, Tennessee. Other main characters include an FBI agent who comes to be a sort of surrogate father to her, a nun from Sierra Leone, a homeless African-American man in Houston, Texas, a man who is arguably a sort of assassin who is in charge of security at this military facility where these experiments are being conducted. I have one rule with characters: I have to know what they're not telling anybody. That's my rule. If I know what they're not telling anybody, I really know who they are. It's a large and an elaborate book. You cannot plan everything in advance. And I think it's Stephen King who actually says this. He says, the book is the boss, and that is absolutely true. The minute I got into writing the book, I found that there were many aspects of the story that I had failed to consider and that I could not ignore. I mean, the book was not going to let me ignore them. There were things I had to take up sooner. There were issues that I had to confront more directly. The title of the passage showed up in my brain just from the get-go. It refers to a number of things. I mean, it's one of those cases where I feel like the book is its title and the title is the book. It overtly refers to a journey. A passage is a journey. A passage is a transition from one state to another. The world of this book makes a radical passage. As one of the characters in the passage says, something is coming, something large. And I think the future's even more nerve-wracking because we don't know what that something is. We actually used to know in the 60s and 70s. We knew exactly what the danger was. Now, we don't know, only, as I say, only how it will feel like when it gets here, and it will feel strangely familiar.